I'm at the White Aviation Museum based at Sandown Airport. Beware, there may be lots of noise coming in a moment because there's lots of construction going on here. But I'm here with Paul Carey. Paul, welcome to the podcast.
Good morning, thank you.
Can you just introduce yourself a little bit and tell me what it is you do here at the museum?
Okay, well, I volunteer here at the museum. Originally, my father came to the Isle of Wight to join the team making the Saunders Row Princess flying boat. And so I've had an interest in that. Used to drive past it on the way to the floating bridge, and my father always said, "Oh yes," so I worked on that. And I knew there was lots of different aspects of flying related to the Isle of Wight. And since joining the museum and volunteering here, it's amazed me just how much was done on the Isle of Wight, how many different aircraft. During the First World War, huge number of aircraft were produced on the island. In the mid years, between the wars, there was a lot of flying boats and other aircraft, and there's quite a number of airports on the island as well, with services to the mainland run by the railways. And then during the Second World War, of course, a lot of production was switched to the war effort, mostly making different aircraft, but including Spitfires, of course, which everybody knows about. And after the war, again, lots of aircraft produced, and even today, there is a lot of aircraft parts manufactured on the Isle of Wight. High-tech parts like rotor blades for jet engines made here on the island and shipped throughout the world. And of course, we famously had the hovercraft produced here. It's too much to take in one museum. We're really crammed in here.
You're beginning to outgrow your space, aren't you?
We've outgrown it, definitely. There's a lot. We have exhibits outside now, including a full-size replica of the Black Arrow rocket, which was built at Cowes, tested at the Needles, and then shipped to Australia, where it launched. Was the only British launch platform to actually launch a satellite called Prospero into space. The satellite's still up there, but not functioning, and it's it's something we're the only country to have built a rocket, had the technology, and then not continued with it. It's with hindsight it seems crazy, but there were good reasons for that at the time.
And what is it you do how often do you come into the museum, and what do you do when you get here?
Well, I have a plan of what I'm going to do when I get here, and every time I come in here, the plan goes out the window. I do something completely different. There's endless number of jobs for different displays. I've done some work with videos for the TV screens that we have here, showing the Skeeter and the Saunders Row objects. I'm working on something else. But when I'm here, I've worked on the rocket display, and also the Skeeter. We've recently been donated a Skeeter helicopter, which was built at Cowes, shipped by lorry to Eastleigh, where it was tested and final assembly tested, and then distributed to armies, British Army and the German Army as well. And also they did a lot of testing on that helicopter, and it continued to develop into more recent model helicopters. And parts for helicopters are still made on the island.
Wow.
So, making cabinets and display cases, you name it, it gets done here. It's all done by volunteers. We don't have any employees. We rely entirely on people donating things, and people are very generous. And we do a lot of research as well.
Yeah, I was going to say, and you still need more volunteers, don't you?
We
here?
do, yes.
Any particular skills that you're looking for?
There's a lot of skills. I mean, and skills that you wouldn't really associate with a museum, like a shop. We need somebody who knows about shops and how to run a shop. We need people who can do archiving.
Archiving, yes.
It's easy for me
Yes.
to say. And just administration as well. We need things like people who know about personnel issues and can look after health and safety for us and electrical work. People who are qualified to do that.
Yeah.
So there almost everybody, I think, on the Isle of Wight would have a skill that would be useful to us.
Excellent. And what is it that keeps you coming back week after week?
Well, as I say, I plan what I'm going to do, and then I do something completely different. It's always fascinating, always captures my interest, and there's no shortage of things to do, and interesting things to do as well. I mean, there's the odd bit of boring stuff. I'm not very happy with the painting I have to do, but there's always any job. There's always going to be a percentage of boring stuff, but most of it is really very interesting. And of course, as a volunteer, if it gets too boring, you don't do it. So the fact that everybody keeps coming back, and that's the other thing is it's a really good team here, a really friendly team. There's a lot of joshing and things like that. Well, one of the reasons I got into this was because I was volunteering to do Men in Sheds, which is to people who are retired like me, who are so used to going to work every day and having the companionship of colleagues and everything. And then when you retire, you're stuck at home with your wife. And delightful though she is, she doesn't take the mickey out of me nearly enough. And it's interesting to talk to other people. They all have their different experiences. There's lots of people with very interesting careers that they've had, and now come here. And some people are still working. So it's, you don't have to be retired to work here. Because obviously, if you are retired, you have more time.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much. Anything else you want to add before we end?
I think I've talked enough.
I'll let you get back to your work. But
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for coming on the podcast.